Well, love them or hate them, reality TV shows are everywhere. Our guest today recently became widely known in the UK as the Christian single guy in the popular BBC reality show called Strictly Soulmates. His search for the perfect match was watched by millions as the TV cameras followed him around for 6 months. Richard Kay is here to tell us what that was like, as well as give us an update on his own broadcasting career as the founder and director of Dreams for Living TV. Richard, welcome.
Welcome, Richard.
Thank you so much.
Now, you were with us about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
That's right, a year and a half ago. Lots changed.
Lots changed. You've been a busy guy.
Very busy guy. Congratulations, your 50 years anniversary as well.
Thank you.
Yes,
This year we're celebrating
for the Ministry of
well.
Crossroads.
Yeah.
We haven't been married 50 years, just in case anyone was worried and wondering.
Now, okay, talk about being married. This was the search for your soulmate in front of millions of people.
Millions.
What was that like?
It was kind of strange because, you know, I'm a TV presenter and I spend a lot of my time interviewing celebrities and very high-profile individuals. Strange to have the camera flipped around to yourself, not just for one day or half an hour or just a few minutes on television, but literally for a whole duration of 6 months. And so I was flipped around by a television film crew on a regular basis.
And so you went on dates and the camera was there?
Every single day. Every single day.
It's kind of hard to ignore, isn't it?
Very hard to ignore. And the crazy thing was that, you know, every single time I saw someone that I liked, that I was attracted to, should I say, the BBC were constantly saying to me, okay, great, you know, speak with her, communicate with her and ask her out, you know, ask her on a date. And I was like, my goodness, this is so strange because I've got television film crew just literally meters away.
What if she said no? Not that she would ever, but
Thank
what
you.
if she said no? It's recorded.
That's
on
reality, though.
Yeah.
True.
Well, that is the fear. You know, when you skip the cameras and put them aside in your everyday life, if you see someone you really like and you like to go out with and you ask around, it's between you and her, of course. But if she did say no, it's on reality television, the BBC were not prepared to erase anything from the cameras. It's reality TV. It's what makes great TV. And so now and again, that was, I guess, in somewhat my kind of fear as such. And there was moments when I actually saw someone I did like, and I approached them, of course, and I was just about to ask him out on a date, and of course the BBC were in the back somewhere hiding away, so she couldn't see them. And the moment she said yes, I was like head over heels and happy, of course. And at that moment in time, the film crew then run over to us. Of course, she couldn't see them, they were hiding away. And then, you know, they informed her, oh, by the way, you know, you were just filmed for a national television documentary. I hope that's okay with you. And are you happy for us to broadcast this on national television? Yeah. And as much as she liked myself, of course.
Of course. Of course. Of course.
It was like, you know, a lot of girls got absolutely petrified of being on national television, that quite a few of them had to sadly kind of turn it down as such because, you know, they just couldn't bear being on a date on national television. And you had that other aspect of girls just head over heels and hyper about being on national television, that, you know, in many ways, you know, you get a little paranoid. Does she like me for who I am as a person, or is she just on a date with me just for a bit of fame?
So this lasted 6 months.
Well, they followed him around for 6 months,
and
then they edited it into the weekly series. Any idea of how many people actually watched?
I would literally say millions of people across the UK. I'm more recognised today in the UK than I've ever have done throughout my whole entire life. I get stopped now and again on a train or on a bus or when I'm out and about at events, concerts, and just literally shopping around as what you call a shopping mall. And, you know, people recognize my face and they say to me, Richard Kays, have you found her yet? As in the date, you know, have you found your perfect
And what's
partner
the answer?
yet?
The answer is?
The answer was like, and they say this in front of people. And I'm like, I guess I'm still single.
Still looking.
Still looking.
Now, the BBC set up this reality show to track people of various religious groups. You know, there was a Muslim, a Hindu, and various ones. And you were the Christian guy.
Yes.
And so what was it like for you being followed around with these cameras and having these dates, but you also have you know, the Christian witness you wanted to continue to maintain?
To be honest with you, you know, my first response to that question is it was absolutely fantastic. At the same time, though, you've got to understand that, you know, the UK in many ways, you know, is not so much forthcoming when it comes to Christianity. And therefore, you know, a number of churches, ministers and pastors and a number of friends that I'm associated with, you know, very, very scared for me. They said, goodness me, you're going to be on national television on the BBC and they could make you into something that you're completely not. And of course, that also was a fear for me as well. I had to make the concrete decision, was I going to do it, was I not going to do it? I thought to myself, what a wonderful opportunity to be a witness across the whole entire country, and what a privilege to be chosen as someone that can represent Christianity across the UK. And so, of course, I gladly said yes. There were slight fears behind my head, but I knew that God was in control. And what a witness. I go to Hillsong's church in London, and we had, you know, a vast array of literally more people join the church, you know, as a result of being on that television show as well.
Now, you said earlier that you're already a broadcaster in Great Britain, in UK. So you're already very well known, okay? Was your Christian beliefs already well known as well? Or was this kind of like, oh, I know that guy, I didn't know he was a Christian?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, a lot of people knew that I was a Christian. I had been broadcasting in the UK for quite a number of years. In fact, I began public speaking at 14. And I began my television career at age of 17 years of age. And so a number of people knew the fact that I was a Christian, but in terms of the wider population, the wider general public as such, didn't quite realize that I was, you know, a born-again Christian. And for many of them, it did surprise them. And they were amazed. But it was great to see non-Christians approaching me. And you know, they would often say to me that, you know, great to see a young Christian individual that's not religious as such, but has got a relationship with Christ.
That's it.
And that was powerful to me.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to be, you know, seen on national television as a religious individual that is Bible-bashing individuals, but someone who has a love and passion for God, making a difference in society and culture, but someone that just enjoys having God right by my side on a regular basis.
Well, as you say, you're still single, so that probably maybe wasn't God's way for you to find that mate on national television. But maybe for someone who's single that can relate to you right now, what might you say to them about perhaps God's role in finding the perfect match?
Honestly, I would say that, you know, first the reason why I am still single is because, you know, sometimes I'm quite a fussy individual, but the fact of the matter is I believe that it's important that you understand your purpose in life and you don't just go for anybody in life. And so often relationships break down because we don't place God as a central focus in our relationships. That's both for friendship and when it comes to, you know, a soulmate in of itself. I would say that understand your purpose in life, value your calling in life. The moment you begin to value your calling and your purpose in life, you know, you will attract the right person and you won't allow anything to come into that circle. I think that's absolutely key.
All right. Okay, well, the Olympics was the big news, of course, in the UK this past summer. And so you were very much involved, though, with your Dreams for a Living TV. In fact, let's have a look at a clip, and you can tell us about what you were doing. Have a look.
Hi, I'm Richard Kays. I'd like to welcome you to the London Olympics. When we speak about recession, you can clearly forget the fact that the recession even happened. £9 billion has been spent literally making this place happen for the London 2012 Olympics. Over 4 billion people are going to be watching the Olympics literally all around the world. I can feel the excitement, the drive and the adrenaline of what's about to take place here in the UK. Listen, friend, get ready for the London Olympics. It's going to be remarkable.
Okay, and so that was just before the Olympics started.
And it was remarkable. You were absolutely right.
It was absolutely amazing. The country spent £9 billion, would you believe that, on the Olympics itself. 10,000 athletes, you know, in 204 different nations competing. And we did well. We
did a great job. Yeah, we loved watching it over on this side of the pond.
Yes, we did.
Now, Richard, you also have been involved recently in the Queen's Diamond Jubilee celebrations as well. What were you up to with that? Well,
that was remarkable. The production company that I direct called Dreams for Living, which is a TV and film production company. We make light entertainment documentaries as well as TV shows. I got a chance to be able to do some presenting during the Queen's Jubilee and also got a chance to speak to a number of the general public about their thoughts on the Queen's Jubilee. And you know, she's a wonderful individual, marked her 60 years, and so many people have drawn so much warmer to her and the monarchy as well, to that respect, which is great.
Have you had the opportunity to meet Her Majesty the
Queen? You know, I would love to go for tea. I'm waiting for that invitation.
You haven't been able to free up your schedule yet.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. She's not quite aware of my availability.
Yes. Now, there's a new documentary that you're also working on the topic of fame. What's this all about?
Fame, you know, I got a chance to be on a BBC, and a lot more people recognize me today for being on a BBC itself. The Fame documentary is really about interviewing a number of celebrities about fame, the power of fame's negativity, positivity, and ability to change people's lives. I don't believe that God's against fame. In fact, I believe that God gives fame to man. Throughout the Bible, you see people like Moses, David, Esther, Paul in the Bible that had fame, but for a purpose. We live in a society that just wants to be famous for many different things in life, and the Fame documentary is really enhancing the fact that I believe that God gives people a purpose. With purpose comes influence. With influence comes ability to have fame that you can use to influence your culture and generation. And that's what that documentary is about.
With fame comes responsibility.
That's right, a lot of responsibility. And people can find out more information about the Fame documentary by going on thefamedocumentary.com.
Okay,
All right.
thefamedocumentary.com. Well, I look forward to watching it myself, and it's going to be coming out sometime soon.
Sometime very soon. We're still in production right now, still making it.
Yeah.
And it's my little baby right now.
Yeah.
And it's due for release at some point later on in the year.
Well, no wonder you haven't found that soulmate yet. You're so busy.
I'm a very...
You're a busy guy.
I'm a busy guy. In fact, the BBC said to me, you know, behind closed doors, said to me, Richard, I can't quite imagine you with someone right now. You are so busy. I entertain them with my hectic schedules on a regular basis.
Yes, exactly.
Well, Richard, thanks for dropping by and giving us an update, what you've been doing, which is a lot, and it's exciting about that whole reality show. And so, but the real reality is the real, you know, Richard Kays and what God has done in your life and continues to do through you. And so thank you for sharing that with us.
You come back and visit us when you've got more to share, okay?
Indeed,
We love
indeed.
catching up with you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
It's been a joy to be here again, and thank you for
right.
having me on the show. I love it.
God bless you.